Good afternoon, everyone. This is an update on the tropics for August 31st, 2022. We have a new tropical disturbance, so we might as well just get right into it. Here we have the satellite imagery we're looking at this afternoon, about 1 p.m. Central Time, and we do have Invest 91L right down here, as you can see, having a lot of convection this morning right near the center. We also do have now Invest 93L, an area to watch right up here. That is kind of northeast of Bermuda. That was actually Invest 92L, but they have highlighted it again, and it is now Invest 93L. We do have a tropical disturbance over here just off the coast of Africa, right near the Cabo Verde Islands. And this is also around a 50% chance of cyclone formation in 5 days. Here's the 5-day graphical tropical weather outlook for August 31st around 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And this was just updated about 20 minutes ago. And you can see here we do have an 80% chance for cyclone formation here on the tropical disturbance, or Invest 91L, just east of the Lesser Antilles and Leeward Islands. This is expected to be headed northwest and making a northeastern turn as it goes through some wind shear and dry air. So it definitely has a chance of developing, but it has some challenges to get through to get there. We do have the 50% chance disturbance to just northeast of the Cabo Verde Islands, west of Africa, and that has a 50% chance of cyclone formation in 5 days. You will have to watch that as well. But right now, our main concerns is Disturbance 1 and Disturbance 3, which Disturbance 3 is all the way up there in the most northern part of the Atlantic. That is also a 80% chance of cyclone formation in 5 days, which we actually saw this in the models actually developing as a tropical storm, which according to intensity guidance, where we are going to look at that in a minute, this could potentially form into Tropical Storm Danielle, and even Invest 91L could form into Tropical Storm Earl. Now here's the Invest 93L model intensity guidance. As you can see, we have all of these models here currently in the model intensity guidance, reaching a tropical storm strength, even going up into a category 1 strength, and even going up into a category 2 strength. And this is really surprising, since a lot of these already agree that this becomes a hurricane all the way up here in the northern Atlantic. Now, as we look at the lower levels of vorticity within the atmosphere, we have some very nice vorticity, some very strong vorticity here at the lower levels of the disturbance currently northeast of the Cabo Verde Islands. We still have a lot of vorticity here within Invest 91L and Invest 93L. We have definitely a lot of vorticity as well. We have a lot of signs that these are strengthening via vorticity, and even all three of these could develop into tropical storms. I mean, it is really getting active here as we go into early September. This is what we've been expecting from the models, especially the models have been hinting towards a very active early September. So far, that is agreeing with the current state of the Atlantic season. Now, here's the model track guidance for Invest 91L. We're going to be hopping back onto Invest 91L and see what the current updates are for it. Still, currently, the track may be a little more westward. According to some of these models, the Avenue model looks to be heading a little more eastward, a lot more eastward than a lot of those models. But again, making a more northern turn a lot sooner. Every single day, it gets a lot sooner northern turn from a lot of these models here. Right here, there's Bermuda up here, if you can see that. So there's Bermuda up there, and it makes the northern turn a lot quicker, and that might actually, if it does make a northern turn that quick, it will likely miss Bermuda, especially that center, and it likely might not even have a big chance of developing if it makes that soon of a northern turn, because a lot of this dry air is actually sitting right over here, right in this area. Dry air, wind shear, and all that stuff is really unfavorable for this. If it does make that northern turn a lot sooner, if it does make a northern turn, say like over here, then it would have a bigger chance of developing into a tropical storm. Otherwise, as of right now, it's not going to really have a big chance at all at forming into a tropical storm, and we're actually going to have a bigger chance at Invest 93L forming into a tropical cyclone and named tropical cyclone rather than Invest 91L. But as we look at Invest 91L model intensity guidance, we see differently as we see a lot of these models here reaching, majority of these reaching tropical storm strength, even going up to a category 1, category 2, even a major hurricane from a couple of those models, but not a lot, mainly agreeing with a category 1 hurricane or tropical storm from Invest 91L later on in its lifetime. So here we have around hour 84. This is when a lot of those do become a category 1 hurricane, and as you can see here, we do have a lot of these models really peaking up here around hour 60. That's what we could possibly see here in a few days, but I think it may take a little bit longer, maybe around an hour 84. That's when we could possibly see here, as it is going to be headed into that wind shear and dry air. This is the current Saharan air layer, which is pretty much just dry air from Africa and dust. As you can see, we do have a pocket of dust here that is going to be in the way of Invest 91L. We have Invest 93L, which does have some little pockets of dry air, but not really any big blobs or anything. So it's going to have that bigger chance at developing. But again, it's going to be headed straight towards here. And a lot of this is heading westward. So it is actually clearing a bit of a path for Invest 91L, as a lot of this dry air is definitely moving westward with it. So that Invest 91L is actually not really hitting much of that dry air at all. That's why it's still having a good time developing, according to infrared satellite. All right, and here is the GFS model here for these 3 tropical disturbances. Let's go ahead and move forward. This is about right now 12 p.m. of August 31st. Let's move forward to September 1st. This is when we do see a lot of more circulation within these disturbances tomorrow. And then we get to around September 2nd, where we do get a lot of circulation up here with Invest 93L. That's when we could possibly see a tropical depression or tropical storm up there. As you can see, we definitely get a lot more circulation here as we head throughout September 3rd for Invest 91L. This is likely when it's going to become a PTC, digital tropical cyclone. We could possibly see a tropical storm up there, and I do think this could be Danielle. This could be in even Earl here just in early September. And as we move forward here, these also strengthen a lot. As you can see, possibly a hurricane all the way up there in the northern Atlantic, which is definitely pretty wild here. And according to this run, the 12Z run, we do get a very strong hurricane, a very strong fish storm in the Atlantic as well. 2 possible hurricanes at once could be happening here in early September, according to this GFS run, but there are going to be more runs as we look at the 06Z run. It pretty much agrees with the same exact scenario as the other runs. Even another low pressure system right there, literally right next to that potential hurricane. And that actually strengthens a lot. It actually stays the same a lot of the time here throughout its lifetime. We can go to the 00Z run from yesterday. Even has a stronger hurricane in that, still that fish storm scenario. So definitely likely that this is heading northern. This is going to be a fish storm, and if this is not going to be a fish storm and head westward, I definitely would be very surprised, as we do have this high pressure sneaking in at the last moment, just turning that way northward. We do not have much development at all with that another disturbance coming off of Africa. It looks like mainly just those 2, Invest 93L and Invest 91L, that we will have to continue to watch very closely here in the Atlantic. Let's go and look at the European model, which is typically doesn't really hype up these storms as much. But according to the Euro here, Invest 91L looks to be not doing very good by September 4th. Invest 93L, however, looks to be definitely developing and even just kind of stalling out in the middle of the Atlantic, possibly as a tropical storm Danielle here again around September 4th. And it looks to be having that low pressure system, the area to watch, even have a better chance developing, unlike Invest 91L. But of course, this only goes about 90 hours out. So we'll go ahead and look at the 0Z run, which it does have a little bit of development with Invest 91L, not a ton. Look at this. We have a possible tropical wave, even a hurricane, coming off of Africa around September 10th. Now, this is the 0Z run. We're going to head and look at the actual 12Z run from yesterday, see if it has the same hint. And as you can see, it has a tropical wave, but not a hurricane around September 10th. But again, from the 0Z run, we have a potential more tropical waves here coming up for Africa, and these could be definitely threatening to the Caribbean, especially since we do have some guidance around September 10th around to possibly bring some tropical waves into the Caribbean. We're gonna have to watch those closely again in later September. Now that is gonna change, so take this 240 hours out as a grain of salt, but we do have a hint again from the European model that more storms are coming. This is not the end of hurricane season, and we're barely right near the peak of hurricane season as well. Around mid-September is the peak of hurricane season, so we're not even in the peak yet, and there are going to be more storms coming after these three. So if you did enjoy the tropical update, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new, and turn on post notifications so you won't miss a single tropical update on the Atlantic. And as always, share this video with any friends or family. They may like these weather uploads, these tropical updates and stuff like that. It will be very much appreciated. But as always, I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.